to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Central Europe in Budapest near the Danube. I hope everybody is having a healthy and good start to their weekend. In this class, everyone, we are looking at speaking part 2 and how to have success on this cue card question. Hi, everyone. Hi, Ankit. Hi, Navneet. Nice to see our regular students, Murasa, Violet Nguyen, and hello members, Sami Hassan. While we wait for some more of your classmates, this lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS help. Check us out there. And for general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. On both of these websites, we have loads of materials to help you. Just taking a quick peek at these, this is the academic website here with the blue background. You can click that big red button to join the premium package or try it for free. Click that green button. And for the general version of the exam, it's the green background. Again, click that big red button to join the premium package there. Now, when you are in your My Student account, I just want to again show this to our newer viewers and remind our viewers from before. In your My Student account, you have lots and lots of helpful materials, practice exams, and videos in HD, of course. And then you have interactive courses and audio lessons. And again, because this is a speaking class, I want to remind all of our viewers that you do have speaking opportunities where you can either book a speaking interview with me. Of course, that costs money, but you can also speak with other IELTS students on the website. We have over 20,000 users on our website every day. So when you click this student partner speaking, this is a new feature, and there's more and more people using it. Of course, we have our fair usage policy, so you have to accept that. It means you're going to play nice with all of the other students. And then already you can see a couple of users here waiting for somebody to join in. This is like Skype or like WhatsApp, okay? Once you click on one of the users, you can do voice, text, or video chat. And then there's even some IELTS speaking questions for you, divided according to objects, people, places, events, and ideas. So you can open up, for example, objects, and then here you'll see some questions like, let's talk about drawing. How often do you draw pictures? So you have lots of questions there for you, okay? How many students are using this that have seen it and know about it? Who is using it? Okay. So again, make sure to use this. There's a really good chance you'll find somebody else looking for someone to speak with, and you should use it, okay? Nighaim says, I tried it once. Nighaim, try it again, okay? Keep using it, students, okay? Trendy says, I use it, but I can't connect. Trendy, if you can't connect to someone, try to connect to somebody else, okay? Also check your internet settings. Musafir says, I tried it. It's an awesome feature. Yeah, and we'll be linking our apps to this as well, okay? So we have apps, and the apps will link in to this also, so you can actually chat. This is coming in the next couple months. You'll be able to chat through the app and the website. It will all be connected, okay? So make sure to use it, okay? All right, everyone. So, and that's free, by the way. I don't know if I said that. That's free. So you can chat with other students who are IELTS students for absolutely free, okay? Natalie says, I tried it once, but nobody was there. Natalie, in that case, keep the window open, and when somebody comes and sends you a message, you'll get pinged. So it'll say, ping, somebody just sent you a message. So don't close the window, just keep it open, okay? And you'll be able to ping the other person, all right? Okay, students, so that's a little bit about that feature and what you can do there. Marasa, try it. It's a great feature, okay? If you have questions, you can always send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, okay? Yeah, Kevin Marvel, ping, the notification will ping you. Ping is becoming a verb these days on the computer, in the world of computers. Okay, students, let's get into this. Today it's speaking, speaking part 2. Of course, this is for everyone, so speak and repeat as much as you can. We are focusing on the cue card. And we'll have more classes as usual from Wednesday. Okay, these live IELTS classes go from Wednesday to Saturday, according to Central European Time, at 13:30 and 15 o'clock starting. So make sure to join us for the live classes as well. And I will put up next week's schedule later today on the YouTube community chat. Okay, so you'll be able to check it out there. Okay. Alexander, it is for the IELTS test preparation, that chat, but you can definitely try different topics. And I'm sure people will be happy to help you if you're studying for TOEFL or something else as well. Okay, so you can, Alexander, try it for a different topic also. Okay, here we go, everyone. So you're in your speaking interview, and the examiner asks you some questions for part 1 to get to know you, some questions on a general topic. And then the examiner will say, okay, that's the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For part 2, I will ask you some more questions related to the I will ask you some more questions. That's later. So one more time, the examiner will say, that's the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For part 2, here's a card with some questions on it. Here's some note paper, and here's a pencil. You will have 1 minute to look at the questions on the card, think about your answer, take notes in the 1 minute if you wish, and then you will have 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. You ready? And then you say, yes, I am, or sure. They might not ask you if you're ready. They might just say, your 1 minute preparation time begins now. So your 1 minute preparation time begins now. You turn over the card, and this is what you see. Okay, this is what you see. So talk about a person you know that is good with computers. Okay, now always read that twice. So the topic statement, read it twice. So talk about a person you know that is good with computers. Pay attention that you're talking about a person that you know, not just a random person. So you can't answer Bill Gates. You don't really know Bill Gates. Okay, you know who he is, but you don't know him. Okay, this kind of question is dealing more with somebody personal. So when you see this, a person you know, think about somebody personal, a brother, an uncle, a cousin, a friend, a teacher. Okay. All right, and then read the rest of the card carefully also. Pay special attention to the first statement, but of course, pay careful attention to these as well. So, who is this person? What is this person like? Why are they good with computers? And what would you suggest to them to do with their computer skills to be successful? Okay, now again, pay really close attention to these last couple questions. Most of your response should focus on these last 2 unique questions for good task completion. Okay, all right. And then of course, it gives you the instructions on the card as well, just so you're very clear about that. So we read the question carefully, and then our next step, because you have 1 minute to prepare. Students, use that 1 minute wisely. Okay, the 1 minute preparation time is very important, and it's very important that you practice your skills for this before the exam. So 1 minute preparation time. Okay, use it wisely. So one, read the question carefully, especially the topic statement. Okay, 2, identify that you are required to talk about a person. Okay, and when you need to talk about a person, what should you include? Yeah, so this is about a person. What should you include when you're talking about a person? Okay, let's not get to the answer yet. What should we include? Abhishek says their appearance, their personality backed up by actions. Yeah, so quickly their appearance, so what they look like, plus personality backed by their actions. Okay, and we'll talk more about that in a couple minutes. Okay, and then number 3, so you've identified that it's a person. You know that you should give an idea of what this person looks like, their characteristics, their actions, and then what should you do? Think about some people, right? Think about 2 or 3 people that you know who are really good with computers, right? That's your next one, is think about a couple people. Okay, so think about 2 or 3 people who you know that are good with computers, and decide who is the best to talk about. Okay? So that's going to be unique for everybody because you're choosing someone close to you. So brother, sister, uncle, aunt. Okay? So somebody that you know. All right? Colleague, maybe, a coworker, okay, neighbor, uncle, sure. So here we'll just pick a person. It's arbitrary, which means it could be anyone in this case. So let's say it's a colleague, okay? So someone that you work with, okay? This is going to be our choice. Now, choice, colleague, sure. Let's make our colleague Mary. Okay. Now, of course, the next step before anything is take some useful notes, right? So, in the 1 minute, you have about 40 seconds, 30, 40 seconds for your notes, okay? So in the 30, 40 seconds, you should write about 6 to 8 points, okay? So in 30 to 40 seconds, you should write down 6 to 8 good points that you can reference while you speak. Okay? Students, make sure to use your notes, all right? So many times I see students in the 1 minute preparation time writing down ideas, and I can tell that they're really thinking and they've got some good ideas going on and they're writing it all down, and it's one word, next word, couple of words, and then I say to them, okay, your 1 minute preparation time is up, please begin speaking. And they start talking eventually. And then they get stuck for ideas, and they're like, and then they start repeating. And the IELTS examiners cannot hint for you to do a couple of important steps. So the IELTS examiners can't be like, oh, look at the notes, look at the card. So they can't point, they can't nod, or they can't be like, right? They can't do these kinds of things because they'll get fired. They're not allowed to help you. But we're always amazed when students don't look at the notes and don't look at the card, and they just get stuck. And I know it's because they're nervous or because they didn't practice, and they're just staring at the examiner like, when is this terrible, horrible 2 minutes going to be over? Look at the notes. Look at the questions, okay? It happens so many times that it's as if the notes just magically disappear when the 2-minute speaking time starts. They don't disappear. They're there. You just wrote them down. Use them, okay? All right? So make sure to do that, all right? So use your notes. That's why they're there. Make sure you write useful notes. So not notes like, colleague at work. Yeah, okay, it's the colleague at work. You don't have to write that down. Write down Mary in the IT department, okay? So something that's useful, all right? Something that's useful, all right? So that would be my first note, would be Mary in IT department, okay? That's useful, not colleague at work, okay? I can't use that, all right? Okay, give me some useful notes. So give me some notes that you think could be valuable to help me get going with ideas and that I can use for my speaking. Okay, so Roshni says 5'6". So 5'6" tall. You don't need to write inches because it's included there. Smiley. Long dark hair, sure. Big round eyes, slim, all right. That could be useful. Okay, so Kartik says kind and passionate. Now, when you have something like kind and passionate, then back that up with actions always, okay? So when you write down a personality trait like kind, then what does that mean? When you write down hardworking, what does that mean? When you write down clever, what does that mean? So always do this as personality and then action, okay? So what do we know about kind? Tell me. So you're telling me she's kind. Okay, how is she kind? Why are you saying that she's kind? Okay, so when you tell somebody's personality or characteristic, you need to give an example of an action. Otherwise, it's kind of like, okay, they're kind. Everybody's kind these days, right? Marasa says, help other people, but be more specific. Okay, so sure, ready to help others, but what do you mean? Think about the topic, the computers. So this is where you have to be quick thinker. Okay, so what is she helping with? Give me something more specific. The more specific you are, the better your fluency, the better your vocabulary, the better your band score, right? So ready to help and being helpful is not enough. Help with what? We're talking about computers. Okay, Suma, a little bit better, solving problems. What do we call that in the world of computers when we're solving problems with the computers? I bet most of you know this word. Okay. So she helps coworkers with computers, even more specifically, helps me, right? The word that I'm thinking of starts with a T. And again, there you go, Hemant. Of course you got it. Very good, Hemant. So, okay. So the student that is able to come up with, she's kind, she helps people with troubleshooting their problems on their computer. When I had a system crash, she came over and worked overtime to solve the situation and restore the data. Otherwise, I could have lost my job. That's going to get you the band 9, okay? Because you're thinking specific, okay? So helps troubleshooting. That's useful notes, all right? Hardworking, okay? Give me action that says hardworking. What is hardworking? Okay, so what do you mean hardworking? Give me notes that aren't automatically going to be in my head, but that I can use. If I get stuck, I can look at the paper and go, oh yeah, she's hardworking because this is what she's been doing. Okay. Okay, so 10 hours a day, sure. It's nice quantitative language. All right, that's useful. Yeah, sure. Okay, so 10 hours a day, Saturday, and she's a mom. Boom. Visualize her life outside of work. Okay, so visual, detailed information. Let's try it for clever. So she's clever. Okay, what do you mean she's clever? Okay, give me something that is new that not everybody else is saying, like she's clever because she can solve problems on the computer. Well, okay, that's general. Let's try to be a little bit more creative, right? That's what we're thinking. Creative answers in the cue card will get you higher band scores. What is clever? Not a definition, not a general idea like she has great ideas or solving problems, but give me a specific concept, okay? So saying that she's smart or works smartly, you're just repeating the same ideas, okay? So what is clever? I see most students still just repeating the same concept, okay? Okay, Roshni says save $2 for the company by solving problems. Sure, it's okay. Let's see. A lot of answers coming. I'm still not seeing specific. Okay. Be creative. Degree from MIT. 5 computer languages. Writes own software. Okay, so those would be what comes to my mind. So when I'm thinking of the topic, good with computers, and I'm thinking of Mary, and I'm thinking of her in the company, what does it mean she's clever? Well, I can think of her specific degree, right? Her specific degree would be from MIT. That definitely shows that she's clever. She can use 5 computer languages fluently, or you can even go higher and say 10, okay? Elena, that's clever, okay? Clever, smart, intelligent, they're synonymous. So you can use clever like that as well, okay? You can use clever as a synonym for smart. I know what you're thinking, Elena, like clever like a fox, but it doesn't have to be that way, okay? And she writes her own software, okay? She only uses the keyboard, doesn't need the mouse. She knows all the control commands. So those kinds of ideas, all right? That's clever. All right, now, of course, so this is just a tip here that I'm going to give you, okay? So tip, take a couple useful notes for the last 2 questions on the card. Okay, so why are they good with computers? Okay, and what would you suggest them to do with their computer skills to be successful? So you really should figure out at least a couple notes for these last 2 questions to remind you to speak about those, okay? So why are they good with computers? So what makes this person good with computers? Okay, the speaking 10 computer languages or 5 computer languages, that's good. All right, I would say 120 words per minute. Touch typing, right? So thinking of their speed, okay. Maybe another idea. What would you suggest them to do? Let's see what else you can give me as an example. Okay, so give me some notes for these last two. It doesn't matter which one, whatever one comes to mind. Why are they good with computers? What would you suggest for them? Okay, Charlie says 10 years work experience. Yeah, good. 10 years work experience, okay? In your notes, use short form. That was a good one, Charlie. So 10 years work experience. Okay, that one works. That's a good one. Okay. Alex develops software. Yeah. Complex analytic software. Sure. Okay. New software technology. Wrote her own computer language. Those are all good. Okay. Built a social network site. Okay, Rajveer says apply for Google. Suggest that. Sure. Very good. Create own app, says Syed. Okay, sure. Great. All right. So a couple of notes. So there you have it. Okay. So look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's about all the time you have. If you practice a lot and you're quick, you're good at visualizing, you're thinking about the card, the topic, you know that you need good notes to be specific, then you can come up with about 6 to 8, maybe even 10 points like this that can really help you go through the full 2 minutes and not repeat and give new information and get that high band score. Does that make sense, students? So does it make sense how important it is to use this 1 minute preparation time effectively? Staying calm, focusing on the question, focusing on specific, useful notes, okay, that you use while you speak. If you look at the notes while you're speaking to think of ideas, you will not lose marks for fluency. In fact, the examiner will be thinking in their head, what a smart student. They're using their notes. They realize that's why we gave them the 1 minute. Okay? All right. So we have one more step here, students, before we get going. And that step is build your own first sentence. Okay? So build or get your first sentence ready for when the examiner says, okay, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking. You have to start right away. Okay? So you must start right away with a very direct answer. And I'm sure I'm going to see some of those from our students. So here are the notes again. And you remember the question, talk about a person who is good with computers. Okay, Maksud says, the person who is a genius in IT is my teacher, Adrian. Yeah, Maksud, not about me, okay? About the coworker, Mary. Everybody, we're focusing on the same notes and the same response, okay? So talk about Mary. Talk about Mary, okay? Not your friend Deepan, Peya. Let's all focus on not your sister Sarah Murasa, but everybody focus on Mary. You can try your own answer after. For the class, for this class, for practice purpose, everybody concentrate on Mary, okay? Using these notes, please. All right, so Let's do this one more time. All right, Sammy, good. Sammy says the person who is good at computers or good with computers is my colleague Mary, who is also my best friend. I don't know if you need the best friend part, Sammy, but sure. Okay. Elena says, my colleague Mary is a real computer buff working in the IT department at my company. I love it, Elena. That is a band 9 start for sure. So take a look at Elena's first sentence. She's doing well. She's got some good paraphrasing, good natural language as well. Computer buff is good, Elena. Another way that you could say it is computer whiz. Computer whiz is a popular expression. So my colleague Mary is a real computer buff working in the IT department at my accounting firm. Okay, that's a fantastic first sentence. Great job. So nice and direct, showing the examiner that you're not using template cookie cutter sentences like, I know a few people who are good with computers, but today I would like to talk about my colleague Mary. No, directly, okay? My colleague Mary is a computer whiz at my company, working in the IT department, okay? So get right into it. All right. Very good. Saswati says, Mary, my colleague, is a tech-savvy person working with me for the last 3 years in my company. Okay, Saswati, that's good. Kartik Kankar says, my colleague Mary is a computer freak who works in the IT department at my company. I like it, Kartik. All right, great. So many nice ways to start this off. Nabila Hanna says, I have this colleague in the IT department, Mary. She is tech-savvy person and the most reliable of any of the staff in the IT section of the company. Okay, Nabila, a little bit complex. Keep your first sentence fairly simple, so you start with good grammar, good fluency, okay? All right, so let's all focus on Mary. Roshni says, Mary, my coworker in EDR company, is the one person I know who is squeaky clean into computers with the MIT degree. Ooh, Roshni, too much information, and squeaky clean is not correctly used in that context. It's strange. Okay, let's see. All right. That's some good answers. Okay, so I went with Elena's here. That was good. Look, it's not too complex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 words, which is good, okay? Your first sentence should be max 20 words or less, okay? Maximum 20 words or less. So my colleague Mary is a real computer buff working in the IT department at my accounting firm. Okay, nice. Now, let's keep going. In the first 20 seconds, okay, give the personality with action and their appearance. Personality with action. Okay. So first describe Mary a little bit. Use the notes or remember the notes. Okay. So 5'6", smiley, long dark hair, big round eyes, slim. So give me a little bit about her looks, right? Now, I've heard some students say, but Adrian, that's so strange. Why? Well, because we want to see the person visually, right? If we're talking about a person, we want to be able to see them a little bit. Okay, we want to be able to picture them. Zaid Nawafa says she is 100 centimeters tall, has long dark hair, and she's a little bit fat. Zaid, instead of a little bit fat, a little bit chubby. Chubby, okay, chubby. Chubby, the word, I'm going to teach you that. A little bit fat is a bit awkward. Okay. She's a bit chubby is better. Okay. If you're not using slim, a bit chubby. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we have. Hina Arshad says she is 5'6" in height, fair-colored and dark brown hair, always a smile on her face. Good. Roshni says she is 5'6" tall and always carries a smile on her face with inquisitive eyes. Very nice. Yeah, inquisitive eyes is good, Roshni. I like it. Okay. Charlie Sen says she is 5'6" tall with long dark hair and she has big round eyes. Also, she's a little bit slim, or she's on the slimmer side. Sure, those are all good. All right, so yeah, now we can kind of picture Mary a little bit, and that's going to help my band score because humans are visual thinkers, and the more visual our communication, the better it is received by our audience, okay? So she is roughly 5'6" in height, has long, dark, curly hair, a fair complexion, anyway, a fair complexion, big round eyes, and a bit on the slimmer side. Most of the time, she's wearing a smile on her face. Okay, good. Yeah, it is an X without the T. All right, good. So far, so good. We've introduced Mary. We've introduced what Mary looks like. Again, this is speaking, students, so speak and repeat. My colleague Mary is a real computer buff working in the IT department at my accounting firm. She is roughly 5'6" in height, has long, dark, curly hair, a fair complexion, big round eyes, and a bit on the slimmer side. Most of the time, she's wearing a smile on her face. All right, good. Keep repeating, students. If it's fast, don't worry about it. Come back to the lesson and repeat after, okay? All right, now, a little bit about her personality. And, of course, backing it up with actions. Now, here, when you're thinking about personality backed by actions, try to roll in the examples as well, okay? So when you're saying kind and helps troubleshooting, in your speaking, try to add an example. Like what? Okay? Give an example of troubleshooting, all right? Try that, okay? Try that. And I see lots of good writing for the appearance. So now let's go for a couple of points on her personality. And then, of course, give some examples. Okay. So Nighaim says, Mary is the kindest person I've ever known. She always helps her coworkers, especially with me with such complicated software and apps. She's really clever and has a bachelor's degree in IT from MIT. Nighaim, that's good. You're jumping a little bit quickly to different ideas. I would focus a bit more, like helps her coworkers, especially me, with complicated software. Give me an example of complicated software that you couldn't figure out. It doesn't really have to be like how to do masking in Photoshop or how to use the editing suite in Microsoft Word. So just make one up, right? How to do deep level formatting in PowerPoint. Whatever comes to mind, right? Rajveer Singh says she helps in troubleshooting her coworkers when they work on critical issues. She's definitely a generous person. Okay. All right, again, example, right? Get into an example. That will make it more unique. It'll make it more specific. Be creative, right? So she is very kind. Often times she'll go out of her way to help me troubleshoot software. Just the other day, she put in an extra 30 minutes of overtime to help me recover some corrupt files from a very important project that I was working on. Okay, so that's the kind of example that you want to include. All right, repeat after me. She is very kind. Oftentimes, she'll go out of her way to help me troubleshoot software. Just the other day, she put in an extra 30 minutes of overtime to help me recover some corrupt files from a very important project that I was working on. Okay, that's what's going to get you the band scores, these specific developed responses. Not only that, but remember, students, that the more you develop your ideas, the more content you will have for part 3 when you're continuing on the same topic and making connections. So by giving more detailed answers and examples, you're going to create content for part 3. Okay. Musafir says she's always trying to help everyone and keeps resolving issues very quickly. Moreover, she's trying to upgrade her skills, watching useful videos in her free time. Again, jumping around with ideas, right? What you want to see is the person in real time, not the person going, I'm helping someone, and then I'm watching videos, and then I'm upgrading my skills, and then I'm working overtime, and then I'm doing this. Okay, so you want to see the person systematically in their personality and actions. All right? That's how you want to develop your communication. Okay? Because otherwise your listener will be like, okay, so she's like this. Oh, and she's like that. Oh, and she's like that also. Oh, and she's like that too. So what does she actually do? Right? All right. All right. So let's keep going. Don't worry about it, Nikhil. Focus on the gist of the information. Okay. All right. So here we go. Next point, right? So that's her helping. And then we develop the next point, which is the hard working, right? She is an extremely hardworking person. Let's use better vocabulary, hardworking employee, and puts in 10 hours a day at the office almost every week to make sure that all of the computers are working as expected. Now, at this point, you should be thinking, answer the last 2 questions on the card. Okay, so make sure that you're leaving at least a good minute and a half for those last couple of questions. Okay, the examiners are really waiting to listen for those. So here is where you should be checking the card and going, okay, I haven't answered these last 2. Why are they good with computers? I've kind of talked about it, but not enough. And what would you suggest to, for them to do with their computer skills to be successful? So you want to focus on that at this point, okay? You really want to emphasize that. And we have the notes for it, so it shouldn't be hard. MIT speaks 5 computer languages, writes her own software. That's definitely answering those last couple of questions. Okay, all right. Marasa says, furthermore, she works for more than 10 hours in the office and also teaches online on the weekends. Very good, Marasa. Bring some online teaching in there. What does she teach? She teaches C++, computer programming, or Pascal, or some other, okay? Whatever computer language, JavaScript, whatever you come up with on the fly. Be specific, okay? All right. Give me some of the answers now for those last 2 questions. That's what I'm scanning the chat for. I'm going to include the same, okay? She is clearly a computer whiz, and this is reflected by her honors degree from MIT, as well as her thorough knowledge of 6 different computer languages. Okay. In fact, I've heard that she recently completed writing an award-winning analytic software for our company's finance department that saves $500,000 in expenses each year. I've thought about talking with her a little bit about her future ambitions and giving her some advice that could lead to great success, namely applying for a high level position at Google and creating her own app. I definitely think she's got what it takes to make it in the world's #1 computer company and to create successful apps that may earn a boatload of money. All right, so I went to town a little bit there with the last couple questions, just because I wanted to introduce some new vocabulary for you, some natural expressions. So let's go over these, okay? Let's go over these now. Let's go back to the beginning of the speaking. And again, speak and repeat. And don't worry, students, I do see a lot of your comments, meanwhile, in the chat, and you're doing fantastic, okay? There's some good ideas in there. If you're coming up with ideas that are similar to what I'm writing, you're on the right track, okay? Ask yourself, are you being specific, right? So here we go. Again, let's look at the card, and then let's read the response. If you can, don't read, just repeat. So don't read, but just repeat from listening and hearing, okay? So Talk about a person you know that is good with computers. Who is this person? What is this person like? Why are they good with computers? What would you suggest to them to do with their computer skills to be successful? So you did a great job in the 1 minute preparing, choosing the right answer, writing down notes, getting ready the first sentence. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. My colleague Mary is a real computer buff working in the IT department at my accounting firm. She's roughly 5'6" in height, has long dark curly hair, a fair complexion, big round eyes, and a bit on the slimmer side. Most of the time, she's wearing a smile on her face. She's very kind. Oftentimes, she'll go out of her way to help me troubleshoot software. Just the other day, she put in an extra 30 minutes of overtime to help me recover some corrupt files from a very important project that I was working on. She's an extremely hardworking employee and puts in 10 hours a day at the office almost every week to make sure that all of the computers are working as expected. She's clearly a computer whiz, and this is reflected by her honors degree from MIT, as well as her thorough knowledge of 6 different computer languages. In fact, I've heard that she recently completed writing an award-winning analytics software for a company's finance department that saves $500,000 in expenses each year. I've thought about talking with her a little bit about her future ambitions and giving her some advice that could lead to great success, namely applying for a high-level position at Google and creating her own app. I definitely think she's got what it takes to make it in the world's #1 computer company and to create successful apps that may earn a boatload of money, meaning a lot of money. All right, that's pretty much what you need to do for that Band 9. At this point, the examiner will say, all right, your 2 minutes is up. Pass back the card and the note paper and the pencil, and now we will continue with Part 3. I will ask you some more questions related to the topic of Part 2. That Part 3, everyone, will do in next week's classes starting on Wednesday. So hopefully I will see most of you next week as well. Okay. Hemant, yeah, you can speak that much in 2 minutes. That's roughly 2 minutes if you're fluent. If your fluency is lower than that or less than that, Hemant, then take out a little bit of the information from the middle. Okay. And if you want to see more videos with practice speaking interviews and mock interviews, just visit us at aehelp.com. Join our premium package there, or gieltshelp.com for general IELTS as well. And remember this free speaking option, students, okay? So there's that speaking. So if some of you want to keep speaking, go to aehelp.com and you have this speaking interface there. It's a little bit bright so you won't see it, but it's there. I'll show it to you again. So there's the speaking interface, and there's still some students in there waiting for others. Some new students have joined since. You can also refresh it to get more students. So yeah, practice your speaking. Practice, practice, practice. Much love to all of you. Have a great rest of your weekend. Stay healthy. Wash your hands often. And hopefully I'll catch you on Wednesday. Bye for now. Have a nice rest of your evening.